Hello, my name is Colby Adams. I'm from Ross, Ohio. I will be talking about the growth of data centers in Ohio and why I believe it is a complex problem. I've been interested in information technology for some time now, and I've been wondering how data centers actually work and what they do. Ohio has become one of the fastest growing states for data centers because it is flat farmland and Midwest location. While these centers create new economic opportunities and help support the growth of artificial intelligence, they also consume tons of electricity and water. On top of this, the impact on communities near them is drastic. In this presentation, I will show you why this is a complex problem and what solutions might be possible to balance both the growth of technology and environmental needs. So what actually is a data center? A data center is a facility where thousands of computer servers and other networking equipment are stored. They operate nonstop and are basically the brain of the internet. Do you use artificial intelligence? Do you use a phone? Do you use anything online? If so, data centers are what's powering that. This is why major companies like Google and Amazon are investing so heavily into these data centers. Ohio is a hotspot for these, as their Midwest location flatland makes it perfect to easily construct them. While these data centers are heavily relied upon in the modern world, they're also creating major environmental and economic change challenges in Ohio. If you look here at our picture here, right here, Central Ohio is one of the major hotspots in the entire country of the United States of America. So what's the problem? The biggest problem with the growth of data centers in Ohio is the resources they need. One large data center can use as much energy as 100,000 homes. According to Jeff Macholm and Laura Olive in a peer-reviewed article titled Data Center Problems, PJM, the largest grid operator in the country in terms of consumers served, warned last year that PJM faced the likelihood of losing 40 gigawatts or more of generation capacity by 2030 through early retirements of generating units. The vast majority of this retiring capacity is dispatchable generation, primary coal and gas. It shows how these data centers are using unrenewable energy sources. When Ohio already has over 150 data centers and is continuously rising, the strain on the power grid in Ohio expands. Who pays for this? Taxpayers in Ohio do. On top of this energy issue, these centers also require millions of gallons of water per year to cool down the servers. While water does not disappear, the water used from the Ohio lakes gets relocated from the water cycle, still draining the water sources in Ohio. Another huge issue is the carbon dioxide emissions, as a lot of the electricity used comes from fossil fuels, as shown before. On top of these three already huge issues, another problem is the noise pollution. Data centers produce constant humming sounds, which civilians that live near hear day and night. As more data centers pop up in Ohio, there are questions about how these issues will unravel long term. And this is just a picture of a data center. So why does this matter? These problems matter because the costs are paid by Ohio residents. Expanding the power grid in Ohio requires billions of dollars in investments. The costs get passed down to Ohio residents through higher electricity rates in their homes. There's also little to no benefit to community receiving a data center. They do not create a lot of jobs. This means that Ohio residents will have to go through high electricity rates, high water usage, and constant noise while receiving no economic benefits. According to David Maiton in a peer-reviewed article titled Data Center Water Consumption, a medium-sized data center, 15 megawatts, uses as much water as three average-sized hospitals, or more than two 18-hole golf courses. As more and more data centers are built in Ohio, residents and communities need to understand the pros and cons before making a decision to build one. Why should young Ohio residents care? This problem is important for young Ohio voters, specifically the ages of 18 to 24, because many of you will live and work in Ohio for decades to come. Decisions about data centers that are made today will dictate the future of Ohio. With the rapid growth of artificial intelligence, the demand for data centers will continue to increase. New and young voters have a chance to converse about the pros and cons of data centers and whether they want them in their future. Understanding both sides of the argument allows you to make informed decisions, rather than blindly believing that more technology means more progress. So what's the solution to this? The solution to this problem is complex. Stopping the growth of data centers is not realistic, as so much of the modern world depends on what they have to offer. However, an actual possible solution would be to invest in green data centers. Green data centers use other cooling technology, efficient servers, virtualization, and renewable energy sources to help reduce electricity use. Research from Shahari Satu and Hazrul Bahari in their peer-reviewed article shows that green data centers can reduce energy usage by around 30% and still provide plenty of computing power. They do this by, according to Hiraki no Remi Delage, Toshihoko Nakataka, Masaki Kozai, in a peer-reviewed article stating, integrating spatial temporal workload shifting and location planning to enable cost-effective, renewable data centers. While these green data centers do cost more to create, the long-term goal shows that it is cheaper when looking at savings in energy, water, and the environmental impact. This is a much more sustainable option for Ohio and meets the needs for both sides of the argument. To wrap it all up, the crazy growth of data centers has become a hot topic in Ohio regarding technology and environmental issues. The data centers are needed to help support artificial intelligence and other online activities. However, they also have serious long-term concerns when looking at electricity usage, water consumption, carbon emissions, noise created, and a rising cost for Ohioans. Creating green data centers Creating green data centers will win the best of both worlds. They consume less electricity, water, and carbon emissions. They make less noise. They're much more efficient. On top of this, they can still support the rise of artificial intelligence in a much more sustainable way. Ohio, as one of Ohio as one of the United States hotspots for data centers, has an opportunity to lead the charge in looking at efficient data center development. Balancing innovation with sustainability will allow people across the world to continue benefiting from technological progress and at the same time keep the communities happy and keep natural resources safe for the future. And here's the works cited for the pictures. Here's the works cited for my research. One page, 2 pages, and 3 pages. And if you have any questions for me, I am free to take them at any time. Thank you.